Wanted to also talk to you about the Hamas ceremonies when they're releasing the hostages. So much talk about it. Um, what do you think about the ceremonies, or do you have different views on the different ceremonies that have taken place? I have seen majority of them, but not all of them. Do you have a view on it?
So Israel and Israelis are furious
Mm,
at these ceremonies, and they are one of the main instigators and triggers of the genocidal rage that we're seeing right now, renewed genocidal rage
mm,
in Israeli society. How dare they hold these ceremonies? These ceremonies are an indication of Israel's defeat. They indicate that Hamas is still standing, they're alive and kicking, they can hold these ceremonies, they have popular support, they still have their arms, and it refutes all these Israeli claims about Israel crushing and destroying Hamas and Israel having made so much progress in destroying Hamas. Which was one of the pillars of Israeli propaganda last
mhm,
year. They're
mhm,
saying, "Give us more time. We're making progress.
mm,
This is not a genocide. We're only targeting Hamas." Lies, of course, but
mhm,
we need more time. So this has failed. As for the specific claim that this is personally humiliating, degrading towards the Israeli captives,
mm,
I would say that these people have suffered tremendously when they were being held, in tunnels for a year, under Israeli bombardments as well. I mean,
mm.
Israeli bombardments have killed some of these Israeli captives. Um, does, standing on stage for 2 or 3 minutes, is that a traumatic thing for them? After, a year of being held captive and being bombed by Israel. And also, I would admit, yeah, I mean, in some cases being mistreated by their captors.
Mm.
Yeah, I acknowledge that. So, but standing on that stage for 2 or 3 minutes, this photo op, knowing that you'll be out in a few minutes, is that the humiliating or degrading thing personally for these Israeli captives? I'm definitely not sure of that. I would say that it's a humiliation for the state of Israel, for the Israeli leadership, and for the Israeli sort of mentality, and that's what they're furious at.
Yeah, yeah. I wanted to have a chat with you about his name is Omer, the hostage that was released. His
Hostage.
name is
The one who
Omer.
kissed his captors,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, Omil. I forgot his
Omer.
last name,
I
but
thought it was, anyway, I couldn't find much information on it. I Googled heaps and I watched, and he looked happy. He's not a Hollywood actor. And, to say that some of them smiled and waved, I could tell they were traumatized and they were told to smile and wave. Like the father who lost his baby and his wife, that was devastating. You could see as he was standing on the stage, I was devastated for him. He was told to smile. He tried his eyes. You could see in his eyes that the emptiness, the sorrow with Omar standing on the stage and giving the Hamas fighters a kiss on the head, it wasn't that same look, So I don't know whether we need to psychoanalyze each one and go down that path, but I haven't found much more information on that other than the fact that the father said that he was told to do that. So be it. He probably was. Have you found any more information on any of these ceremonies and that particular one?
regarding this guy, Omer, the Israeli propaganda system and lots of Israelis were definitely saying this is staged. He was told to do that. But there's a gap here. You know what? Even if he was asked to, I don't know, express some sort of friendliness towards people, just as you said, he's not a Hollywood actor, and his body language speaks for itself, and he could have done so reluctantly. Absolutely. So. I think this is an indication of some amount. I want to be careful here
Mm,
of human communication that emerged between him and some of his captors, some sort of communication. Um, um, I don't want to use the word friendship here, but good relations on some level at least,
mm,
and also an indication that at least some of them treated him humanely. And this was frustrating that some of the kind of the critics here of the Israeli government, liberal Zionists who have expressed some sympathy for Palestinians in Gaza, they're also saying, I mean, it's stage period, don't even talk about it. But I disagree. There's a gap here. There's the body language, and it's clear that he wasn't doing it just reluctantly. And we have other indications of Israeli captives forming some bond with
mm,
Palestinians. They're discussing all kinds of things, politics, philosophy,
mm.
um, not just this guy, Omil.
That's right. I read into that as well, where, they were talking, they did feed them, although maybe not that much, and they, forced the girls to clean and cook.
Regarding the cooking itself for the female soldiers, it also means that they were allowed to cook for themselves. That's my understanding. They also gave them some
Right.
food, some sort of raw materials to cook for themselves. That was my
Brilliant.
my understanding.
Wow. Yeah.
And they also got to spend time with the children. At least one of the soldiers said that this was a good experience for her,
Right.
spending time with children, that this is something that she likes to do in general. Okay, I'm not saying that
Beautiful.
being held in captivity is a good experience overall.
No,
Okay, not
no.
saying that, but more specifically that being around the children was a pleasant experience for her.
Yeah. I completely agree. It would never be a pleasant experience. And watching some of these um, interviews with the hostages that have returned, it sounds shocking, absolutely shocking, awful, horrendous, heartbreaking, every word, in the thesaurus that you can think of. But when you see the Palestinian prisoners, hostages returning, that's a story that doesn't need words. It's that shocking, heartbreaking, despicable, abhorrent,
So,
traumatizing.
I would say that yeah, if you look at Palestinian prisoners returning, sometimes limbless, I mean, without legs, amputated legs,
Limbless,
and look emaciated, and um,
no longer
so
knowing who they are, some of them, no longer being able
yeah,
to talk. It's on another level, as we say in Australia. It's on another level of despicable.
yeah. So
Yeah.
so Israel's prisons are torture dungeons, torture camps, and um, in fact, today we're just seeing a new report coming out from independent United Nations experts about Israel's attack on Israel's sexual violence against
Mm,
Palestinians, including attacks on reproduction health, Palestinian women, maternity wards, destroying, I think, frozen embryos somewhere in Gaza. I saw something about that.
mm,
Shocking stuff, and also acts of sexual assault, rape, using dogs and objects and all kinds of things against both Palestinian men and women detained by Israel. And this is a part of the genocide. This is absolutely a part of the genocide. And as far as I can recall, the experts are actually saying genocide in the context of this report, that this is one aspect of the genocide. And this is one of the things that we need to sort of drive home, because it's one thing um, for hypocritical Western elites to support Israel sort of politically whenever they can, but to actually do away with international law in order to protect Israel. This is clearly a violation of international law. This is a genocide, certainly crimes against humanity. So going beyond that to even to destroy international law, I think we have a good case here against Western governments. I mean, Western citizens have a good case here against Western elites and far-right elements within Western politics. How dare you try to destroy international law, which is even worse than supporting Israel sort of morally and politically whenever you can, but to destroy international law in order to protect Israel, again, that's on another level.
On another level. That's right.